Hello everyone, it's Vicky Verley, the Rock and Roll Prophetess, and here we are at the end of March doing another new moon forecast. And the new moon is going to be at March 30th in 9 degrees of Aries. Now, before we get started, I wasn't sure, but there is a term for this. I knew that if there was two full moons in a month, that would be called a blue moon. But I looked it up, and interestingly enough, if there's two new moons, it's called a black moon. So I thought that was pretty cool. So again, we always hear about black moon Lilith. So we're going to have to delve into that a little bit here later on. But once again, here we are near that 10-degree mark. I mean, practically 10. It's 9 degrees 59. So, it's 59 minutes. One more minute, it would be 10 degrees. So here we are with that 10-degree mark again. That just keeps getting activated. It's the point of the Pluto-Uranus square that's been going on all through 2013. And it's new moon again. And it is, it's just about 10 degrees. It is conjunct Uranus currently. And it is squaring Pluto. And I think it's opposing or squaring Jupiter too, right? Yeah. So Jupiter. So we've got this grand cardinal thing over here. Now we have planets in Libra, but none of them are really at that 10-degree mark. So I wouldn't count that. But it is a T-square. And the thing is, if you have anything at around 10 degrees Libra, 10 degree anywhere, and especially the cardinal would be second, the most important. Cardinal being Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. That would be important, but I think it's going to be really powerful. If you have something right around that degree of 10 degree of Libra, all the energy, that's the missing point, and all the energy is really flowing there. Looking at how I do, when I just kind of want to look at the aspects, a lot of these are squares, these aspect lines, so a lot of them are squares, and a lot of them are trines, but when I open this up, it just reminds me of spotlights. So that's kind of what I want to kind of go that way. I mean, we could go through and do the regular astrology for everything, and but first of all, this is what catches me. This is what I see first. So let's start with Jupiter, part of the cardinal T-square, 11 degrees of Cancer, and I feel like these are like beams of light. So it's shining. Jupiter's shining a light on all the Aries stuff over here. And the actual new moon point I'm just going to call this 10. We're going to call it 10 degrees of Aries. Okay, so Jupiter shining a light. Jupiter does shine a light, and Jupiter does bring luck and benefits. It's the great benefactor. It brings luck and abundance, and it's one of the best planets. It's considered lucky Jupiter, the planet of good luck and good fortune. Also rules foreign countries, higher education, things like that. It's the rules the ninth house in the flat wheel. So that it rules the ninth house in the flat wheel, and in this chart, I realize this is just for Eastern time and everything, but in this chart, it's interesting that it's all, the new moon is occurring in the ninth house, and Jupiter is shining this beam of light all through this. Well, it's shining the light on all this Aries stuff. Now, Aries, yeah, Aries can be selfish. A lot of times you go right for that. Aries is all about me, and it can be the negative part of Aries. But Aries are also go-getters. Aries make things happen. You can talk about stuff till the cows come home, but you need action. And Aries are action-oriented. They're initiators. They want to get things moving, get things started. And I feel like with the beam of light of Jupiter shining over here, that could happen. There could be luck and benefits, and higher forces would come in to help get things started, get things going. Also, Pluto is shining a light on it too. So I know these are squares and it's the big T-square, but it just reminds me of shining the light. So Pluto's initiating, big change, right? Big change, big money coming into. When I was first thinking about Aries, and for some reason I was like on this skyscraper. I got like a psychic flash of being like on where they're just putting up the metal framing of some big skyscraper or something like that. So I don't know if I'm sure that's actually going on somewhere in the world, but I don't know why I flashed on that. So I hope that it's not negative. I hope it's not something bad happening to a skyscraper. But I don't think so. I think maybe more the message is, because Aries is the new beginnings here, and Pluto rules the skeleton and the bones. So it's like the structure. And that's what I'm seeing on this building. I'm way up in the sky with guys with construction hats, and there's just like these big metal girders, or what they're called, those big metal things that they're setting in place for the framework of this, and a skyscraper, a big building. So if it is symbolic, it could be something big or something high or far-reaching, or massive undertaking. Those are the kind of things that come to mind when I see this vision that I'm getting. So big things. I'm not feeling a lot of disaster and bad about it. I feel like, again, it's going to be at a grander level with Pluto and Jupiter. It's going to be the changes that are occurring, and like we talked about the last time about the masculine and the feminine, and the things that are coming to light through with Uranus energy, through this internet and this instant access to everything that we're in now. But Aries, it's saying it's going to come about the individuals. Aries are the individuals. But they, I know this is not, real astrology, but it's the way I do it. Look at all these Aries all grouped together. So to me, it's like the Aries are uniting. It's all the individuals are coming together. United we stand, divided we fall. And we're going to make new initiatives. And the Jupiter is going to bring blessings, and the Pluto could bring deep, long-lasting, profound changes. Even though there's nothing in Libra at that 10-degree mark, there are, planets are here. Mostly asteroids, but Mars is here, and they're all retrograding too. Well, the North Node is always retrograding, but we've got Vesta retrograding in Libra. We've got, this is Ceres retrograding in Libra. And that's all being shown a light from the South Node, shines a light on all this. So South Node, again, is past. Retrograding is past. So I feel like it's going to be things from the past. Again, I feel this Mars in Libra, though, is that we could find a resolution. We could find a nice way. Even though there's a cluster in Aries, and Aries want to just forge right through, the energy of Libra is definitely activated as well. And again, Libras are the diplomats. With Sag, and Libra too, even though it's probably not the right thing. I think of Libra as legal and law because of the scales and everything. But I believe that is also Jupiter in the 9th house is legal and law. And I'm picking up, I feel like laws could be changed. Bad laws that have been brushed under the rug, or, things that have been put a Band-Aid on. Because I think we can really find a more long-lasting and permanent solution instead of just putting a Band-Aid on it, Well, here, where I live, these chuck holes are outrageous, for instance. This is like such a low-level thing, but they do the same thing over and over again. They put this stuff in there, and then the snowplow comes up, and they rip it up again. There's just chuck holes everywhere. Well, they came along with this new thing, I forget what it's called, but it's this all-in-one machine, and it puts different stuff in the hole, and it's a much better idea. And they finally decided to do that, and so it's long-lasting change. Instead of keep patching these chuck holes with this tar or whatever they're putting in there, and it's just getting torn up again, it's not a permanent solution. So these are permanent solutions, especially with the Jupiter and Pluto, because they are, and the Uranus too, because they are the slower-moving planets. What just popped at me with the Uranus is that with the technology and everything, like the things that are coming out about, the wars that are festering now and everything, and the freedom and revolution. Before, I think people might have, these things would leak occasionally, these stories, or like Pussy Riot getting beat in the street, that happened, whipped in the street in Russia. These things were probably, they have been going on, but they wouldn't be leaked out. It would be here and there, or not at all. You wouldn't hear about it as often, and therefore we wouldn't think it was as prevalent as it is. And in this case, where the individuals are taking Uranus energy and technology into their own hands and broadcasting it out through the world, Jupiter, we're being enlightened, we are being informed that this is much more prevalent than we know. And it's the individuals that are going to shine a light and show us that. And there's going to be some kind of protection and blessings with the Jupiter energy, with energy going on. In addition to all the Mars and these asteroids being retrograde, we still have the Saturn retrograde too. So that's again this Scorpio energy, and this is going to be for a while as well. We have over here, I wanted to focus in on this, we have the Venus is opposed Pallas with Aquarius energy again. I talked a little bit about this last time because, again, with the Libra, Venus rules Libra and Taurus, okay? So Venus wants to do things nice, like Libra wants to do things nice. And Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So again, it's like doing things in a new way, in a more enlightened way. Uranus with technology, but we're more enlightened now. You know, we're not just going to push things under the rug anymore. You know, Saturn and Scorpio, and there's nodes transits through Scorpio. Says, no, we're not going to push this under the rug. Scorpio's going to dig it right out again. And the Pluto energy is, you know, because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So that energy is prevalent. But in this way, maybe we can have enlightenment. Maybe we can take the high road. Because Aquariuses definitely are the most forward. They're humanitarians. They're very forward thinking. They're inventive. They can invent new ways to achieve what Venus's agenda is. And Venus's agenda is to be loving to each other and kind and resolve issues through love, not war. I know it's a cliche, but that really is, you know, Venus energy. And it's opposed as Pallas, and I always again think of Pallas as, you know, inventive and stuff like that. Pallas in Leo, retrograding also as well. We have, you know, it's retrograding. So, you know, Pallas and Leo, but Leo, I always think it's like it's showtime. It's time to reveal these inventions. It's time to reveal these plans that we have of new way of doing things, these ideas that we have that are newer and electric too. Like I feel a very strong tie into how we're moving away from the fossil fuels and more electric energy, you know, and new electric inventions, you know, like let's reveal them, let's show them. And Aries, you know, let's say we want them. Let the people say we want them. We want electric cars. We want solar panels. We want, you know, these things. Pluto, the big oil companies and the people who have controlled it because they had all the money, you know, the individuals are challenging that and saying, no, we don't want to, you know, pollute the air with gas. You know, we don't want a cloud of pollution hanging over our city, you know, in air pollution, and we don't want the water pollution and everything that comes from, or the danger to the water, like from the nuclear energy and everything. So the individuals, and Uranus is right in there. So this new moon is really going to give a boost to this Uranus energy. It's like it's charging it. And then that black moon with the Lilith, you know, I think there's got to be some connection to that, but I'm honestly, I'm not getting a whole lot. I'm not really tuning into it. But let's just take a peek at Lilith here. She's at almost 3 degrees Leo, 255 Leo. And she is coming down here. They've got her aspecting, squaring off these, because this is almost low degrees of Scorpio. So squaring off Ceres. Ceres again is the food, you know. I always think it's a goddess of the grain, and I think of it as the food. So, you know, dark, black moon, darkness. What's being hidden about those food, about our food? I know they're debuting the new nutrition labels that Michelle Obama initiated here in America. So I think that's a great thing, because that's always so frustrating when you're trying to figure out, especially calories. You're trying to figure out calories. And it's like, well, it's 100 calories per serving. Well, what's a serving? You know, serving is this. And then you got to do all this math just to figure out what one thing is. You know, like, what is one rice cake? You know, did somebody just tell me how many calories one rice cake is without me having to do 3 different math processes to figure it out? You know, well, there's 3 servings of rice. You know, so that, you know, it's just all these complicated things, and the people Aries wants it fast and easy too. You don't have, Aries aren't, let's sugarcoat it, let's make it. Aquarians sometimes can, you know, talk over people's heads a little, you know, they make it more complicated. Maybe to, you know, to make themselves feel more intelligent. I'm not trying to put anybody down here, but I note that sometimes. But Aries, it's meat and potatoes, straight to the point. You know, they're no nonsense, no muss, no fuss. Give it to me like it is. I want the truth. We're going to initiate change, make it happen. You know, Aries can be run a little rampant, and they're good starters, but they're not always good finishers, too. That's the thing. You know, they stir up a bunch of dust, and then they're on to the next thing right away. So you need the other energies that are in action here to see the plans through, to carry it through, to you know, make it really happen, make the long-term changes. Capricorns are the structure. They're going to make the new structure. Capricorn and Saturn energy is going to make the new structure. The steel girders. They lay down the steel girders and they build the buildings. I wanted to real quickly touch on over here. We still have some stuff in Pisces, including a Mercury-Chiron conjunction here. So I feel like, you know, words can heal. Mercury kind of things can be very healing. You might find healing somewhere Mercury right in your own neighborhood, somewhere close by, somewhere with water. Maybe your local aquarium or your local get out in nature, go to, you know, a little creek or park that has some kind of fountain or any kind of water around. Mercury there too tells me that the words will flow. Mercury with Pisces energy is it's just going to flow. It's like a channeling vibration almost, you know, that you can just, the words are just going to flow straight from spirit. If you go to any kind of church, you know, your pastor may deliver a very inspiring speech, you know, or a sermon, or a speech, period. Not at church, let's not even, you know, make it only at church. Let's not confine it to just church. Speeches. There could be powerful speeches. Pisces energy, people could be empathetic to you if you have to plead your case. If you speak out, that there could be empathy towards you, or people could understand, or they would, your words would make them feel your whatever. It doesn't have to be. I was going to say feel your pain, but they could feel your joy. It doesn't. You don't have to go to the dark side with that. Okay, so, you know, there's a lot going on. These squares, I think, almost feel like we're kind of getting used to these squares energies because it's been happening so much. But the changes aren't all the way there. But each time these squares are activated, more and more things are happening that are moving towards these squares. And I feel like by the time these final Pluto-Uranus squares are over, we're going to see the transformation. I should have looked it up, but when the last ones occur, if we look from where we were at when they first started squaring off to where they finish up when we get there and take a look at how much we've changed, I feel like it's going to be a big difference. I feel it'll be quite a difference from where we started. Okay, so I think that's about it. Thank you all so much for donating. I've been getting a lot more donations, and it makes it worthwhile for me to do the videos when I receive donations. And people signing up for readings, I'm meeting lots of new clients and lots of new people, and it's always a pleasure, and I'm really enjoying that as well. And thank you for commenting and sharing my videos. This is Vicki Verley, the Rock and Roll Prophetess. Remember that you are love and beauty incarnate, and I'll speak to you soon. What is Orgonite? Originally discovered in the 1930s by Wilhelm Reich, Orgon energy, or etheric energy, is present in living things including the human body. Reich proposed that illness occurs when our etheric body is out of balance, and that positive Orgon energy could realign the etheric field, thus facilitating healing and balance of one's life force, chi or prana. It has since been scientifically proven that energy called piezoelectricity, meaning electricity resulting from pressure, is created by the compression of certain materials such as quartz crystals, wood, salt, sugar, ceramics, and bones. As the resin cures in an Orgonite piece, it shrinks and compresses the organic matter contained within. The energy emitted creates a positive energy generator. You really can feel the energy coming forth from these pieces. Orgonite clears the air and neutralizes negative emotions as well as electronic clutter from our high-tech devices. Each Orgonite piece is lovingly hand-created using intuitive pairing of materials to enhance and raise vibration and aid in ascension and a spiritual awakening. I use materials from nature, including the bark from a sacred willow for grounding, and gold flakes to emulate the golden light basking down from the higher dimensions. Visit my Etsy shop for a wide selection of handmade orgone pieces, especially designed for spiritual growth, including heart opening, chakra alignment and activation, and more. Visit www.orgoneenergyflow.etsy.com to see more beautiful orgone pieces. And remember, you are love and beauty incarnate.